see me back there? How about now? Okay. We don't have the best AV guys in the business for nothing. Anyways, welcome everybody. For those of you, I'm sure everyone's already checked out my site ahead of time. That's what people do for speakers. We're wondering, why in the world am I holding this brick? What's with the brick is your real question. Let me ask you a question. What would you do with this brick?
I would build a patio.
Okay.
I'd build a sidewalk.
How about you?
I'd build a whole new house if I had to. I'll start with one brick.
Fantastic. 3 answers. I'm sure we can get a few more if we go ahead and poll everybody else here in the audience. What if I told you can actually get 50 different ideas of what to do with this brick in the next 5 minutes? You'd wonder how that'd be possible. And the reason why it's possible is because right now we're in a pattern thought process. It's potentially and possibly perturbing even that we're stuck in this pattern thought. So how do we exactly break out of it? Well, before we answer that question, we first have to figure out how did we end up over here to begin with. You know, it really wasn't our fault. I mean, it started really as little kids. We've always been indoctrinated to be thinking in patterns. Think of a baby's toy, if you will. You have the rings, and they all have to fit in a sequential order, or a little box with the different shapes. The shapes have to go in a particular order. But even more than that, how about Sesame Street? Which one of these doesn't belong? Which one of these is not like the other? From the very beginning, it's all about pattern thought. So to break out of this pattern thought, we really have to understand our subconscious. Our subconscious really is a filter. It actually filters out anything that doesn't fit into the tried and true. And because it doesn't fit in, things don't fit into that tried and true, we don't actually end up thinking about it. It's almost as if we have our own little stupid barrier. We're afraid to think anything outside that stupid barrier. We don't want to look stupid. Who wants to actually go ahead and look stupid? So now how do we get past that stupid barrier? We get past the stupid barrier by almost as simplistic. There are no stupid ideas. We've all heard that before. Well, maybe there are stupid ideas, but we have to tell our brain there aren't any stupid ideas. Every idea is a good idea. And the way we can get to that is, again, going back to this brick. Let's engage our 5 senses. So you start with sight. Well, right now you see a rust-colored, brick-colored brick. But what if this brick were different colors? What if this were a blue brick or a green brick? What if this brick were a different shape? Let's say a triangle, maybe even a circle. Ideas over there. What about sound? If I drop this, well, I think the people on the stage would have a problem with me if I dropped this brick on the stage. But what kind of sound would that actually make? What if I banged it against something else? That might make a different sound. Is the sound evocative of something? What about smell? You know, certainly masonry has some sort of a smell to it, and that's pretty distinctive of what it is. But let's say this brick weren't a masonry brick. Let's say this were a foam brick. Certainly foam and plastic smells like something. You know, the other thing is what about touch? You know, this has a particular texture to it. What about other things that have that texture? What does that actually remind us of? And finally, the 5th sense, of course, we'd have a lot harder time, of course, dentists might appreciate it, is taste. You want to go in and chomp on this thing, well, I'm not quite sure that'd be a great idea. But what if this brick were actually a brick of chocolate or a brick of cheese? What do those tastes remind us of? You know, finally, we have an imagination. What could this actually really be? When we're thinking about creative thought, it's almost like a tree. A tree starts with our basic idea, our basic problem that we're trying to solve, and then you have almost infinite branches, twigs, leaves. How many leaves are on a tree? Have you ever stopped to count? Yeah, it probably would take you a while. Yeah, it's probably a finite number, but it's a large number. So again, how are we going to actually get past this? What we really have to go ahead and do with our creative thought is to go ahead and, if we're by ourselves, we need to fool our subconscious, really. There are no stupid ideas. Every idea is a great idea. If we're in a meeting, we're here in a company, we're talking about corporate profitability and corporate creativity, what we really need to do is we actually need to get past a bias. We need to find a way. There are no stupid ideas. We're not ruling anything out. This idea is doable, it's attainable, it's economical, and most importantly, it's profitable.